Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 12th day of Tips for Successful Living. The 12th day of Tips for Successful Living. Tips for Successful Living. Have you ever heard the statement, if it's not getting it at home, it's getting it somewhere else? Have you ever heard of the statement, if it's not getting it at home, it's getting it from somewhere else? I'll let you figure out what it means in this case. It could mean anything. Fill in the gap. The tip for today is assumption, and the advice is that you should ask questions to clarify things before making assumption. In a world where it's very easy to just assume what you observe or what you heard about somebody is right, it becomes very easy to destroy relationships because of that. Because assumption could be in different forms. Assumption could come from you as a person. You observe somebody and you think what you observe about the person is right, and hence you tend to counsel the person, so to say. We talk about counsel culture here in America. You tend to counsel the person and throw the person in the trash can because you think what you observe about them is right, and hence you're not willing to engage, ask questions, or even just observe again. And hence we try to let people go and put people in certain boxes and label people in a way that is not good. The other part is even more dangerous. You're not the one doing the observation. Someone else, for whatever reason, they did the observation was wrong. There's personal gain, personal interest, biases, and things like that. And they're giving you their observation about a person. And because you're so busy, or you don't have the time, or because you're afraid of lack of response or a no or things like that, you decide to run with the assumption that the third person is giving you about this particular person. And hence, you counsel the person or also throw them in the trash can. This person is trash. Nothing good can come from this person. I've also seen people who have assumed at some point. They approach somebody, and at that point, they couldn't give the request that they granted. Therefore, you assume that if I always approach this person, the answer is always going to be no. Because I approached them once or twice, the answer was no. That's not true. Assumption is not good. To assume means that you're probably not having enough knowledge to make the decision that you're making. And as a result of that, you can lead yourself astray or also lead people astray. And you can imagine having multiple people being led astray, how that can destroy multiple relationships because of that. So the general advice is to just be comfortable to ask questions when you feel that something is not what you expect it to be, and also give people the opportunity to really confirm the assumption that you have, because assumptions can be right, assumption I would note it in science. Most of the scientific knowledge, most of the scientific laws are based on assumptions. And sometimes we've seen that that's not always the case. For every law, there's an exception. There are situations whereby the assumption is not there, or even if the assumption is there, there's an exception that will make the situation very different. In science, in research, we've observed this and seen this over and over again. So that means that assumptions are not always going to be true. They could be true, but they need to be confirmed by asking questions. And you as a person, if you are interested in having the influence that you want to have, you have to confirm an assumption by asking questions and being comfortable to not get a response, being comfortable to get a no, being comfortable to have that weird discussion that most people don't want to have is what this is all about. And that's better than assuming somebody's bad, a situation is bad, canceling people, throwing people in the trash, that kind of thing. And I've seen people do this over time. The same person that you decide to trash and put in the trash can and cancel, then you find out that you need the person's help. Then you're going to try to reach out. And my question in that kind of situation is, what changed? It's the same person, same attitude. Same attitude that you said, well, this is trash, this is bad. I don't want to have anything to do with this. This is not good. I don't want to have anything to do this with this person. But then you discover, well, I still need this person though. It's live. Then you try to find out to reach out to the person after you've assumed and counseled them. So generally, even if my advice is, even if you decide, well, maybe this person is not a good influence and bad and this, they are bad, they are so bad and you are so good, you're an angel, all those kind of feelings that people have. I think it's good to not burn bridges, because if you burn bridges, then you might have to pass through the bridge that you burned. Then it becomes a real big headache for you. So if you have to withdraw from a particular relationship because you think your assumption is right, try to ask questions and confirm. And even if you confirm, still close the door gently. Don't burn, don't burn the bridges, because you might have to pass through the bridge again. You don't know what life has for you in the future. It's always good to keep things in a very open and peaceful way, so that you can always re-engage if you have to. Right? So again, if you're just joining, the tips for success today is to ask questions for clarification. Ask questions for clarification before you assume. Ask questions for clarification instead of assuming. Ask questions for clarification instead of assuming. Questions will make things clear. Questions will make you have better decision. And if you make a decision to stay away from a situation or somebody, still do it gently, peacefully, in a respectful way, because you might have to revisit or re-engage again in the future. You don't know what the future holds for you. Therefore, you want to apply wisdom. Thank you for joining today. If you have questions or comments, please put it in the comment section. If you disagree with what I said, please let me know. And if you also agree, you can say something about this. And thank you for joining today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.